Gato Perro doing another Marvel Legends review, this time on the Spider-Man Legends Build-A-Figure Green Goblin. Yeah, it's finally assembled. I am so happy I was able to complete the entire wave, considering some of them were really hard to find, especially the Blackhead and the Carnage, and even Spider-Girl, but she only gave me an extra pair left leg. So, still very happy to have it, and I do not feel like I'm getting the same figure twice since I don't have the Avengers Hulk. And this guy is pretty good. He does have some new parts on him, and I only have a couple of gripes, one of which being the fire effects that everybody seems to use for their ACBA pictures and whatever other effects, is because they don't stay on as well. They kind of just flop to the side on both of them, and the back piece will just fall off in the single movement that involves him going back, and it will just fall off. But not too bad. You can probably get some tape in there and put it on his back. It probably won't be as hard, but still not a huge gripe. Everything else looks really good. Now to get into detail, I will go into his arm, where it's kind of weird because he has a more scale detail. We can see some bumps on his entire arms. Makes him look more like a reptile-esque, which is also present on his feet right there. Yet he doesn't have it across anywhere else on his body. He just has the cross hatching across his entire green skin, which does not have any shading from what I can tell. It's also just one plain color. And we'll just take the fire effects off for now. And these are very nice. They have a nice translucent orange plastic that has some red at the tips of it on both of them. And the black one is, not the black, the back one is pretty huge too. All the wires stick up really nice. It's a really cool accessories we got with them. It was really nice. The entire mold is, as I said, the Hulk body. And you can see why they would go with this body mold, because it looks a lot like from the Ultimate Comics. Looks really nice. All the ripped up jeans. So there is a paint flaw in almost every figure, where the area was supposed to be ripped and it's supposed to be a green skin color. They just painted over it blue, and not even well enough to where you won't be able to tell, because there's some scratches going on there where I can totally see where it should be green. And then some parts over here on the hips, and maybe even, yeah, hips, and then some over here you can see some green going through the blue, even on this leg. But all the green parts, it looks really nice. The other new parts that they have added are these spikes that everybody seems to be calling the Doomsday spikes, which I can see why. I can see how they would do customs. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty awesome. Doesn't really have any type of detail as well. Also, some of them have some green bleeding through. Not that bad. The big back of Green Goblin. And his claws are really nice. His menacing claws that you get, really huge. Looks really great. They're not the same on both sides. This one's more open. This one's more closed. And then the other part you get is the feet, but they're not painted on the toenails, which might be a big gripe for some of his prime, but whatever, not for me. And let's get to the face, which is the obvious new part of it. He has this really nice devil-like horns with this abomination ears looking like bat wings. And I really like the eyes, how they had the red on the back and then just painted like a silver streak across it, so it kind of reflects and looks a bit more sadistic. And I like the snarling face that he has, his teeth. Although they do have some minor paint flaws if you look really close into it, but nothing too bad to notice from far away, or at least from where you'll be seeing it on your display shelf. So, let's go over Abominations. Oh no, just flying. Okay, Green Goblin's articulation. Alright, his head is on bulge, so just go up and down. He does have shoulders to move outward, up to the spikes go down, go up, bicep swivel, double jointed knees, elbows, and they're not too gummy, which I like. He has wrist articulation that goes up and down. It does swivel. He does have an abdomen joint which goes more forward than back. It just goes normal. Then he goes side to side, and you can pivot it forward or side to side. No waist articulation. He has wide jointed hips to go that much forward like that. They spin. They have double jointed knees, which always works out well, especially for a big figure like him. And he doesn't have a calf rotation, but he does have a foot that goes up and down and an ankle rocker. So really good articulation on this guy. So far my joints have not popped off, and that is not really a flaw that I have with the figure, but I do feel like his upper chest is very hollow compared to the arms and everything, which are most likely solid plastic. Solid. I guess it sounded weird when I said that. So I'm just going to get all the fire effects on him again. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring out every single figure from the line and some type of order that we'll compare them to. And while doing this, I'm going to tell you what my favorite figure from this entire line was. And starting first, it was no surprise to me. I don't know if it was to you, but it was the Amazing Spider-Man movie figure. I absolutely loved it. It was so great. For me, my reasoning, he's great for stop motion. He looks like a comic book figure. He fits in with like the Toy Biz villains. and he can pull off all the poses that I need him to whenever I'm doing stop motion. So he's my #1 figure for this line. Just put him aside. You can see his height difference up to his pec. Then we'll bring in no order is this anymore, because I absolutely love all the figures from this line except Toxin, which is why I didn't pick him up. But I love them all equally. I don't think any of them have any problems. So we're just bringing all the figures from the line. Electro. We got the Black Cat, so hopefully she'll stand up for me. Yay. You got Beetle over here. We'll get the Carnage, which would have been my favorite, if only if it wasn't for the purpose of the Spider-Man stop motion. I don't know. I guess I'll have to be tight. I can't make up my mind. The only one that was a bit of a disappointment was, I don't think Boomerang was a disappointment. I just think they need to fix their loose joints that they're working with right now for retooling bodies. And yeah, Spider-Girl is pretty close too. He's actually a pretty good figure. I really like the new mold. And the Black Cat's awesome as well. And yes, I do have Superior. He's just right here. He's just his, pose that looks really cool to me right now. So, and he's basically the same as the Amazing Spider-Man. Mine is all the sculpting. But yeah, this was my review for the Green Goblin. All these figures are great. If you can complete the entire series, go ahead and get it. They're absolutely great. Although, I don't know, I think they were restocking them in stores last time I checked. When I found Spider-Girl and Boomerang, it seemed like the Walmarts, the Targets, and the Toys R Us were all getting new boxes of the figures. So, who knows if they're still out there. You can order them in Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon. And yeah, good luck hunting. Happy to build this figure. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so as a rating, I would give Green Goblin a solid 9. He's pretty good. As a series as a whole, I'll probably give it a 9.5. The only flaw being some of the paint on some of the figures. Boomerang. And yeah, that's it. Everything else was great about this line. Still haven't completed my Captain America, and that's why I haven't reviewed it. So I'm probably gonna have to find the movie figures, which I'm mostly excited about. And completing those AIM and the Hydra Soldiers is pretty hard right now. So this has been my review. Please stay tuned for more reviews and stop motions from Gato Perro.